Well, bonjour. Welcome back to Break Free from the BS, the podcast that promises to leave you either challenged, changed, or at the very least, entertained. And today we are going to be talking all about living life on hard mode. And the reason we're talking about this is because I had this thought about my own life recently, and I realised that I was living life on hard mode again. So what the hell do I mean when I say living your life on hard mode? I think this looks different for every person, personally, but I definitely think there's going to be some commonalities and some common themes, shall we say, weaved through various people's hard and easy modes. So hard mode for me looks like not having a direction in my day. And that doesn't have to be planned out minute by minute, play by play, time blocking. And that plan could literally be, today my aim is to relax. Today my aim is to go and touch the grass. Today my aim is to get in the water. Today my aim is to record a pod. Today my aim is to build my wardrobe. Like, it's just a general, this is what I would like to achieve today. Because I don't know about you, but I'm a gold star kid. So I like getting a pat on the back, and I give that to myself when I do the things that I said I was going to do. And that doesn't need to be a hard thing. That can literally be, today I'm going to put a load of washing on. I get to give myself a gold star. Well done, Louise. Pat on the back. That's a nice feeling, right? Whereas if I never like verbally or write down or agree with myself what the things I'm going to achieve today are, I never get to give myself a gold star, guys. And also I don't get anything done. So I need some sort of general direction as to what I would like to do with my day. Yeah, what that looks and feels like. So no direction in my day. I'm living on hard mode. And yeah, the reverse of that is that before I go to bed, just do a little brain dump. What do I want to get cracked tomorrow? Or you can do it in the morning, whatever suits you best. But for me, I like to empty my brain so I can sleep well. Some things might go on a list for another day. Some things might be like, yeah, I can do that tomorrow. Great. Doom scrolling. Do you know how hard it is to build a career using a tool that can also be your quicksand? Some might say that I'm choosing hard mode there. But yeah, it's doom scrolling for me. If I wake up, if I fall back into the rhythm of waking up, and one of the first things that I do is checking Instagram, bad juju. Bad juju. And that's actually what made me realize I wanted to record this podcast episode, because I had done that. I'd started to slip back into that trap of like waking up and it being one of the things that I check in the morning before I've even stepped into my own life. And truth be told, I'm not saving lives. So there's literally nothing that I need to check my phone for before I've stepped into the world, before I've gone out and actually seen daylight, taken my dog for a wander, maybe had some breakfast, had a shower, whatever it is that sets me up for success for the day. It does not need to be higher than that. It is not more important than that stuff. So whenever I switch back into hard mode and one of the first things I do is check Instagram, you are just teeing yourself up for a shit time. And I know how obvious this is, but I also know there's going to be a lot of you listening that's like, guilty. It's such an easy fix. It's such an easy fix. So I'm committing, because I've moved into a new house and it's like that little habit is sneaking in. So I'm already decided I'm going to switch where I charge my phone. It's not going to be in my room with me. So when I wake up in the morning, and my mum inspired me on this one, shout out Mother Dearest. And by the way, my mum is putting out crazy good shit on Instagram. And I don't want to accuse the algorithm of definitely pushing younger women more than older women, but my mum's putting some good shit out. So can you please go and support her? She's Jan J. Wilson on Instagram. She is an NLP master practitioner. All she's trying to do is help silence that like negative inner voice in people. And she's putting out so many good videos at the moment. So please go check her out. Sorry, I went off tangent a little bit there, but yeah, just thought I'd shout out to Mama Dearest there. Yeah, so Mum inspired me by being like, I don't have my phone in my bedroom. I don't do that now. Like, I do not touch that phone first thing in the morning. And yeah, she's getting a lot of benefits from that. And it's something I know very consciously, but it just sneaks back in. And then I'm living on hard mode again. So hard mode, first thing in the morning, easy mode. It's like a scheduled thing in my day because I use it as it's a business tool for me. So it should be that business. I wasn't waking up and checking my Teams before I got out of bed. So why the fuck am I checking my Instagram? Cool. Word had with self. What else does hard mode look like for me? UPF. Ultra processed foods. Ultra processed foods. If I am in any way making them a large part of my diet, I can get away with like, I try to stick by the 80-20 rule. Even better 90-10, but I can get away with 80-20. But if I'm going anything over that, if life gets busy and I start deprioritizing putting good whole foods in my body, oh boy, not good. And I actually truly think that's then linked to inflammation in my body. And it feels like for me that links to inflamed thoughts. My anxious thoughts definitely get worse when I'm not putting good fuel into my body. 100%. And also when I'm not putting good fuel mentally. So coming back to the doom scrolling thing, if I'm choosing to consume more than I create, anxious thoughts, they amp up massively. So there's definitely something in that as well, like thinking about all of this being linked together. So if I'm on that hard mode and I'm just picking up ultra processed food because I'm like, I haven't got time, and we're going to talk about more about why this happens in a second, but I end up paying for it. Okay, so for me, hard mode, ultra processed foods, easy mode, whole foods. And finally, I just actually want to touch on thoughts in general. What's that line from Eat, Pray, Love? You have to select your thoughts like you select your clothes in the morning. 100% agree. And this morning, I caught myself again as I was walking out the door to take Luna for a walk. I was having like busy thoughts, pretty inflamed thoughts in terms of a bit anxious. And I had a little moment where I was like, whoa, that's not me. Hello, anxious Alice. How are you doing? I'm going for a little walk in nature, hun, and I don't need any thoughts right now. But if some are going to crop in, I'd quite like them to be excited thoughts about creativity or, whatever it might be. So you can leave that at the door. Thank you. Bye. Because I truly think you have to select your thoughts. And hard mode for me is when I'm just letting those thoughts run away, when I'm not intercepting those thoughts and I'm just letting Alice have an absolute party. And if you're wondering what the hell I fucking mean when I'm saying Alice and you've not listened to episode 1 of my podcast, go check it out. I talk all about who anxious Alice is in my brain. But if I'm just letting her have a party in my place, that's life on hard mode for me. I do not enjoy being anxious. I do not enjoy having thoughts that are inflamed and hyperbolic and out of alignment with how I want to move through the world. I do not enjoy feeling insecure about myself. I do not enjoy feeling insecure about my relationships. So you have to select those thoughts. So again, hard mode for me is just letting them run riot. Easy mode for me is selecting those thoughts. It's intercepting when I need to. And you know what's really interesting is as I say this out loud, when I say hard mode for me is no direction with my day, doom scrolling, ultra processed foods, anxious thoughts, versus easy mode being aim of the day, knowing what I want to get cracked that day, no Insta before I step into that real world, being present in my real world before I am in my virtual world, eating whole foods, selecting my thoughts. Our brains have basically tricked us into thinking that it's hard to be happy, that it's almost reversed, that the easy mode is having no direction with my day, doom scrolling whenever I'd like to, eating whatever I'd like to, letting my thoughts run riot. And in a way, we've tricked our brains into thinking that that's the easy route because it's like the path of least resistance. But we all know that the long-term impact of that is the hardest of modes. It's the hardest of modes. And it was James Clear that said, effectively, easy habits now equal hard life long-term. Hard habits now equal easy life long-term. And it's not even that they're necessarily hard things to achieve. It's just that our brains are wired for the path of least resistance, right? So this is like kind of getting into the why a little bit. Why do we easily fall back into hard mode when we know that easy mode is that right there? I think that's for a number of reasons. So number one is that neurological pathway, right? Our pathways have formed the least resistance, and it's habit. It's the things that we have always done. I think to nurture parts of ourselves in the wrong way. When I'm doom scrolling, I am often attempting to switch off, but actually I'm like feeding myself thousands of emotions within a half an hour of doom scrolling, right? So I'm not actually switching off at all. Switching off would be putting some good music on, laying and really being present in that music. It'd be slowly stretching. It'd be going for a walk in nature. That's actually switching off. But my brain has been like, oh, I associate doing that thing with numbing, with switching off. So I'm going to mark that as the easiest path to switch off. Obviously, fueling my body. It's a very natural human desire to eat food. That is life. That's the sustenance of life. So my brain has been like, oh, the easiest route to that is just picking something out of the fridge, shoving it in my face. It's not thinking about what I want to cook, going to the shop, buying what I want to cook, taking the time to cook it. Even though the result of that is way better, way more delicious, way more enjoyable, far better for my body. So our brain is a sneaky little fuck. And if we're not careful, those little neurological pathways that are already formed as going, this is definitely the best option, they're just ready to sweep us away if we're not conscious as to how we're living the life. And one thing you'll notice is when you start to choose easy mode long term, possibly a bit more difficult short term, your brain will start to be like, okay, sweet. And that will become easier. And your new neurological pathways will form. But you have to remember that the old ones are always there. So as much as it will start to choose that new one, if you don't keep half an eye, sometimes it might be like, I'm just going to sneak back this way. And for me, keeping a half an eye on it, if I'm basically fully sunk into other things, and I suppose this is the second reason that this happens, is life demands. If I am so busy thinking about other big things, but I forget to keep just a little sneaky eye on how I'm living my life, those old neurological pathways are ready there. Ready to just come in and be like, whoosh, and wash you away a little bit. And so for me, I've, just moved house. I'm now renovating a kitchen, a bathroom, as well as unpacking everything. I've got big things happening in my world of work and my career. And life has demanded a lot of attention, and it's actually okay. It's okay. And I spoke about this in a previous episode as well. It's okay to sometimes fall off the path, to fall out of alignment. But when you recognize it and you realize and you understand that you're out of alignment, you start to go, okay, what are my days looking like? How are my pillars looking? Am I in hard mode or am I in easy mode? Ah, fuck. I've fallen back into hard mode. So just where you can, try to make sure that they are front of the line. But I absolutely understand that sometimes life demands are going to take hold. My granddad was very sick recently and passed. And for my dad, that took a lot of his time up. Almost every weekend, him and his partner were there supporting, so much of his time. That's then very hard for my dad to find the time to prioritize himself and how he's living his life. But it's about remembering that when the madness stops, or when you're out of the really turbulent part, checking in with yourself to come home to yourself and to come back to easy mode and to come back to the way that serves you long term, the long term easy mode. And it's so funny because even if those things don't serve us, right, they are just ready there to take back hold if we let them. So you fall back into the familiar rather than the sort of chosen path. So just being a little bit aware of that. And the way I also want you to think about the two modes, because as I say, long-term easy kind of feels like short-term hard. Long-term hard kind of feels like short-term easy. is rather than see it as discipline, because I always used to think like, oh, you don't have discipline, you can't stick to these things, rather than actually just being aware of all the different things in life that can divert you, or as I say, just the brain makeup that automatically wants to potentially defer you. Rather than view it as discipline, I like to now view it as devotion of love to self, devotion to the life that I want to lead, devotion to living in alignment with my purpose, with my path, with what I want to achieve in the world, and mostly devotion to how I want to feel. I don't want to feel underexpressed. I don't want to feel inflamed and painful in my joints. I don't want to feel disconnected from nature, from myself, from the people around me. I don't want to feel that way. So I have to consciously choose the things that have me feeling the opposite, connected to the people around me, connected to nature, connected to self, creatively expressive, fulfilled creatively, fulfilled in the life that I'm building for myself. So it's actually an act of devotion and of love to the self and to the life that you want to create to carry out these things. And it's almost this commitment to this long-term state of peace for me. It's this commitment to doing things that in the moment feel like effort, but that I know serve my long-term peace. They build my long-term goal of living a free and peaceful life, the ability to wake up and truly enjoy my day and not feel some artificial sense of, oh, what is the feeling? It's like this artificial sense of hurry, of pressure, of time. Time always goes far slower when I'm truly present. Like, we all know that when we live in a world where we're rushing through majority of our day because we're not enjoying how we're spending it, maybe in the way that we work, and then we get to the evening and I don't know, it's like this, we're so overwhelmed by this sense of we've only got now a few hours to enjoy our day. We almost just numb out. We don't spend that time creating, cooking good food, seeing the people we love and being truly present with them. But I know that when you are really present in your day, it feels longer. You get to the end of the day and you're like, God, I've done so much today. And it's weird because people go, oh, time flies when you're having fun. And I do get that. Like, when you're in flow state, 100% time flies. And I think that's what that saying is actually referring to, in my opinion. Like, when you're in flow state, when there's an amazing experience and you're fully in it and you're just in flow state, or you're creating, so you're in flow state. Like, sometimes I'll paint and I'll blink and I'm like, holy shit, it's midnight, and I started painting at like 7 p.m. because I've just gone into flow state. And you're kind of absent in the mind, so time doesn't exist. Time is an illusion. So then we go, oh, time went really fast. I don't think time went fast. I think actually we're just used to checking time so much because we're not enjoying how we're spending time. Like, when you're in work or you're in work hours and you're clock watching all the time, time feels really slow because you're very aware of time, because you're actively seeking for it to pass. Whereas when you are just in your life and you're doing something that you are fully submerged in, that's why it feels like it goes so quickly, because you're just not aware of it. Like, when you're on holiday, when I'm on holiday, I'm literally like, I don't know what day it is, I don't know what time it is, and I don't care. And it's so nice. And like, 2 weeks feels quite fast sometimes when you're on holiday because you're just not checked in on time. It's just not something you're aware of. Whereas 2 weeks in your everyday life at home, you can be like, God, I really want to get these 2 weeks over so I can get to that next thing that I'm looking forward to. Honey, life is the event. If we're always just looking at the next thing in our calendar to get to and we're wishing time away in between, we are wishing away our life. That is our life. And if you don't like how you are living your everyday life, fucking change it. And I'm not preaching from some high tower here. I am in the middle of doing this. Scary, scary stuff is happening in my life because I am doing it. I am deciding that I want to enjoy every day of my life. I don't just want to wait for the days that I enjoy. So I am shifting it all about and I'm doing the shit to make that happen for myself because I don't want to just keep waiting for the next good thing in my life. I want every day to feel good. So I am committed to that long-term peace in my life and that long-term enjoyment of my life. I'm not saying there's not going to be challenges. I'm not saying there's not going to be harder times. Yin and yang, baby. There always will be. But in that hard time, there will be lessons that help me keep spiraling up. Keep spiraling up, baby. And you know what? Maybe I won't understand those lessons for years. Sometimes shit things are going to happen. And 15 years later, you go, oh my God, that's exactly why that thing happened to me at that point in my life. Holy crap. But I certainly don't enjoy when I'm living in hard mode. This is my official resignation to hard mode. Thank you. No, thank you. And I'm sure you're going to pull me back in at some point, but I am ready to consciously choose easy mode again. And I'm going to start calling it easy mode because I also think there's something in that, right? Because it feels maybe harder in the moment to get up, get outside, go for a walk first thing in the morning when I could just laze in bed and scroll on Instagram. Or it feels easy to just grab that thing out of Tesco's and shove it straight in my face rather than take some ingredients home. Or it feels easy to just let my thoughts run away and not sit with them, not journal, not be present with myself and my mind and control it. It's easy to be like, oh, that's the hard stuff. No, no, no. Let's not get it twisted. So I am officially referring to it as being easy mode. I am on my easy timeline. I am in alignment. I am in devotion to doing the things that make my life feel easy, that make my life feel enjoyable, that make my life feel full of love, just full of the good stuff. Full of the good stuff, guys. So to depart, I want you to think, in fact, right now, if you can, grab a notebook, grab a pen. And the first thing I want you to think about is, what does your life look like when it is on hard mode? Okay? What are the things that you are doing that make life feel hard in the long term? Is it doom scrolling for you? Is it binge watching TV? It could be something like vaping, whatever it is for you that long term is making you feel like shit, whether that's physically, mentally, spiritually. What are the things? Write them out. I'm not saying you got to tackle them all right now. You can if you want. I'm an all or nothing girly. I've said this before, right? Why just dip my toe when I can just take a fucking whole swim? Plunge in. Dive on in, baby. So I want you to think about what the things that you are living on hard mode. And then I want you to think about the opposite. Okay, what does life on easy mode look like for you? How do you make yourself feel best spiritually? How do you make yourself feel best physically? And it doesn't mean that you've got to do all of these things every single day. I've said this before. Every time you do something that leads to long-term ease in your life with devotion and with love, you are effectively spreading seeds into your life. And those seeds are going to bloom. It doesn't mean that some days you're not going to drop the ball and forget to spread some seeds. And then other days you're going to throw a whole packet out. That is okay. It's normal for life to have peaks and troughs. But the more that you make it your conscious aim to commit to doing the stuff that is in alignment and that helps you live a good life, the better your garden is going to look, the better your flowers are going to bloom. Okay? So think about the hard, think about the good. And then I just want you to think about one thing that you can go and do today off of that easy mode list. What's one thing you can go and do even right now? And actually, I'm kind of tricking you into doing one that's good for long term because I'm getting you to write the list. So straight away, you're actually doing something for future you. But what's one thing you can go and do thereafter? And it might be go outside, sit on the grass, look at the sky and just be like, I knew I was living in hard mode because I sat on my sofa in my fella's house the other night and he's got a lovely reclining sofa. And I put it up and I felt the support of this sofa underneath me. And I took a massive, and I felt every muscle in my body go, and there it is, and relax into the sofa. And I was like, oh my God, I can actually feel my whole body on this sofa right now. And it made me realize that I had not felt full body relaxation and just taken a beat for myself in possibly 2 months. No exaggeration. And I was like, "Oh, fuck, we've fallen back into the hard timeline." We're living on hard mode because you should be feeling that moment of daily relaxation as often as possible. Multiple times a day if you can, but at the very least once a day where you just go, oh, come into your body, big deep breaths, feel it all relax consciously. In bed is a really great place. If you struggle to find time in your day, make it the last thing you do when you get into bed at night and you close your eyes. Consciously do a little body scan to relax every single little muscle in that body. But I had not done that in so long, and I was like, oh shit, we're on hard mode. We are tense. Our shoulders are higher. Our jaw is tight. We're surviving. There is no need to be surviving right now. I am not being chased by a saber-toothed tiger. I get to choose the flow of my life. Now I'm out of it. Now I've moved. Now I've met all the deadlines I needed to meet and dealt with all the lawyers and blah, 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 blah. Now I've done all of that. I am now back in control. So this train doesn't need to keep being a runaway train. I can now be like, choop, choop, we're stopping off here. I hope this was helpful. It certainly was helpful for me, as always. I get as much recording this as I'm hoping you guys get listening to it because it genuinely does heal me as well. So, as always, thank you for being here. I love you. Go out and write that list, and I will see you next week. Mwah!